We're opening the relationship, on my side only. You're too loyal to see other people. I said, fair enough. Took a business trip and never came back. Weeks later, she texted she'd made a mistake. I didn't reply. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I met Jenna 5 years ago at a mutual friend's barbecue in the suburbs. She was this vibrant, ambitious graphic designer with big dreams of starting her own freelance business, and I was the steady IT guy working for a mid-sized firm downtown. From the jump, I was all in. I saw a future with her. House, kids, the whole package. I wasn't the flashy type. I prided myself on being reliable, the kind of guy who shows up when things get tough. And things did get tough early on. About a year into our relationship, Jenna hit a rough patch. Her job at a small agency folded during some economic dip, and she was out of work for months. I stepped up without a second thought. I covered our rent on the cozy apartment we'd just leased together, picked up extra shifts to pay for her online courses so she could build her portfolio, and even helped her network by introducing her to some contacts from my office. There were nights I'd come home exhausted from debugging code all day, only to spend hours brainstorming logo ideas with her or proofreading her pitches to clients. I turned down a promotion that would have meant relocating because it would have disrupted her momentum. We're a team, I'd tell her. Your success is our success. She'd hug me tight those nights, whispering how lucky she was to have someone so loyal. It felt good, you know? Like I was building something real. We talked about marriage casually. No ring yet, but it was on the horizon. I even started squirreling away savings for a down payment on a place of our own. Little did I know that loyalty she praised so much would become the weapon she used against me. Fast forward to last spring. Jenna's freelance gig had finally taken off. She landed a couple of big clients, and suddenly she was attending industry mixers and happy hours almost every week. I was proud, cheering her on from the sidelines. But I started noticing changes. She'd come home late, phone glued to her hand, giggling at texts she wouldn't share. Our date nights turned into her venting about how stifling our routine felt. We need more spark, Alex, she'd say vaguely. I chalked it up to stress and suggested a weekend getaway, but she brushed it off. Then came the night that shattered everything. It was a Thursday, pouring rain outside, the kind that drums against the windows like an accusation. I'd made her favorite pasta from scratch, hoping to reconnect. We were sitting on the couch, half watching some mindless show, when she set her plate down and turned to me with this calculated look. Her eyes were steady, like she'd rehearsed this. Alex, we need to talk about us, she started, her voice even, almost businesslike. I've been thinking a lot lately. Our relationship, it's solid, but it's not exciting anymore. I love you, but I feel like I'm missing out on experiences. I want to open things up. I blinked, fork halfway to my mouth. Open things up? Like an open relationship. She nodded, leaning forward as if explaining a simple concept to a child. Yeah, exactly. On my side, at least. I need space to explore, meet new people, have some fun. But you're too loyal to see other people, right? You'd never do that to me. So it'd be one-sided for now. It's not cheating if we're honest about it. Her words hit like a gut punch. Too loyal? It was like she was twisting my best quality into a flaw. I sat there, staring at the steam rising from my uneaten food, replaying all the sacrifices in my head. The missed promotion, the late nights supporting her dreams, the way I'd always put us first. And now, she wanted a hall pass because I was too loyal to use one myself? What brought this on? I managed to ask, keeping my voice steady even as my mind raced. She shrugged, a small smile playing on her lips, like she was proud of her boldness. I've met someone, Mark, from one of those networking events. He's adventurous, pushes me out of my comfort zone. We've been talking, and, well, I want to see where it goes. But I don't want to lose you. You're my rock, Alex. This could make us stronger. You'd wait for me, wouldn't you? Because that's who you are. There it was, the smugness, the assumption that I'd just roll over. She leaned back, crossing her arms, waiting for my reaction. Part of me wanted to yell, to demand why I wasn't enough, but I swallowed it down. I'd always been the calm one, the problem solver. Begging wouldn't change her mind. It'd just make me look pathetic. I set my fork down carefully. If that's what you need, Jenna. Her eyebrows shot up, surprised I didn't fight back. Really? You're okay with it? Fair enough, I said, echoing the casual tone she'd used. Inside, it felt like something was cracking, but I kept my face neutral. Do what you have to. She beamed, like I'd just given her a gift. See? This is why you're perfect. Most guys would freak out, but not you. She kissed my cheek and grabbed her phone, already texting, probably Mark. That night, she slept soundly while I stared at the ceiling, the rain mocking my silence. The next few weeks were a slow unraveling. Jenna started staying out later, coming home with that post-date glow. She'd drop hints about Mark, how he took her to trendy spots I'd never heard of, how he challenged her in ways I apparently didn't. It was emotional abandonment disguised as freedom. I'd nod, say sounds fun, and retreat to my home office, burying myself in work to numb the hurt. One evening, she came home buzzing with excitement. We were in the kitchen. I was washing dishes from a dinner I'd eaten alone. She hopped onto the counter, swinging her legs like a kid. Mark and I went to this amazing rooftop bar last night, she gushed. The view was insane. You should have seen it. Wait, but you hate heights, right? Anyway, we talked about everything. He gets my creative side, pushes me to take risks. Not like our safe little bubble here. I dried my hands, feeling the weight of her words. Safe bubble. She laughed lightly, but there was an edge to it. Come on, Alex. You're great, but let's be real. You're content with the 9 to 5 Netflix nights, saving for a mortgage. I need more than that right now. Opening things up was the best decision. Mark says it's modern, evolved. You're too traditional to get it, but you'll come around. Traditional? I echoed, the word tasting bitter. You mean loyal? Exactly, she said, hopping down and patting my arm condescendingly. That's your thing, and I love it, for stability. But for passion, Mark's got that covered. This way, I get the best of both worlds. You wouldn't want to hold me back, would you? Her logic was twisted, self-serving. She framed it like I was the problem for not wanting to share her, like my commitment was a cage. I could have argued, pointed out how I'd bent over backward for her, but what was the point? She was already gone, mentally at least. Instead, I nodded. No, I wouldn't want that. She smiled triumphantly. Knew you'd understand. Then she breezed off to change, humming to herself. That conversation sealed it for me. The confusion I'd felt, the why me, the what did I do wrong, started shifting to clarity. She didn't value me. She valued what I provided. A safety net, as she'd basically admitted. I spent the next few days quietly planning. No dramatic confrontations, no tearful pleas. Just detachment. I told her I had a business trip coming up, a week-long conference out of state for work. It wasn't entirely a lie. I'd arranged time off and booked a flight, but there was no conference. Sounds boring, she teased when I mentioned it. Mark and I might hit up that new club while you're gone. Fair enough, I said again, the words now a mantra. The day before I left, I packed methodically. Not just clothes, important documents, my laptop, a few sentimental items from my side of the family. I transferred half our shared savings to her account. Fair split, no arguments, and canceled the joint subscriptions quietly. She was out with Mark that night, so I had the apartment to myself. I sat on the couch, the same one where she dropped her bombshell, and let the silence sink in. It hurt, yeah? Deeply. I'd invested years, emotions, dreams. But in that quiet, I realized something. Her betrayal wasn't just about Mark. It was about her disrespect, her entitlement. She'd taken my loyalty for granted, weaponized it. Walking away wasn't revenge, it was self-preservation. The next morning, I kissed her goodbye at the door. She was half asleep, mumbling, "Have fun," without looking up from her phone. I wheeled my suitcase out, got in the cab to the airport, and that was it. I flew to a quieter town a few states away, where an old college buddy had offered me a couch while I figured things out. No forwarding address, no dramatic note. Just gone. For the first week, I didn't check my phone much. Work emails, sure. I'd remote logged in to keep my job steady. But personal stuff? Radio silence on my end. I hiked trails I'd never seen, read books I'd put off, even started journaling to process the mess. The confusion faded into a dull ache, then resolve. I wasn't her rock anymore. I was my own. Texts started trickling in around day 3. Hey, how's the conference? Then, miss you. Mark's fun, but it's not the same. I read them but didn't reply. By day 5, they turned curious. Everything okay? Call me. Still nothing from me. Weeks blurred by. I extended my trip, told work I needed remote flexibility for personal reasons. They were cool about it. I found a short-term rental in that town, started exploring job transfers. The silence felt liberating. No more walking on eggshells. No more being the backup plan. That's when her messages escalated. But I'll get to that later. For now, just know, disappearing was the calmest power move I ever made. It was about a month after I left that the first cracks in Jenna's new life started showing. I didn't hear it from her directly at first. Mutual friends, the ones who'd stayed neutral, began dropping hints in group chats. I'd muted most notifications, but I caught enough to piece it together. Mark, her adventurous fling, wasn't the dreamboat she'd painted him as. Turns out, he had a temper and a wandering eye. A buddy from our old circle, Tom, messaged me privately. Dude, Jenna's a mess. Mark screamed at her in public at some bar last week. Then he bailed with another girl right in front of her. I didn't respond, but I felt a grim satisfaction. Not joy, just a sense that the universe was balancing things out. Jenna's social media, which I checked once out of curiosity before blocking her, started reflecting it too. Vague posts about learning who people really are replaced her usual glamorous selfies. Then came the big blow. Her biggest client dropped her. Apparently, she'd missed deadlines, distracted by the drama with Mark. Her freelance career, the one I'd helped build, was teetering. Friends who'd initially cheered her modern choices started distancing themselves when they heard how she'd framed me as the boring one holding her back. Truth has a way of slipping out. By week 6, she was unraveling. Tom mentioned she'd moved out of our old apartment, couldn't afford it alone after I'd stopped covering her half. She was crashing with her sister, Kara, in a cramped place across town. Mark had ghosted her completely, leaving her with nothing but regret and a bruised ego. I didn't gloat. I was too busy settling into my new routine, hiking coastal trails, and interviewing for a better job, but it felt like justice. She'd gambled on passion and lost the stability she'd mocked. The texts started getting frantic around the 2-month mark. I'd changed my number, but kept my old email for work, and that's where she found me. The first message was soft, almost nostalgic. Hey Alex, I've been thinking about us. I made a mistake. Can we talk? I miss our nights together. I read it over coffee, the ocean breeze drifting through my rental's window, and deleted it without a word. No anger, just indifference. She wasn't my problem anymore. A week later, the tone shifted. I know you're getting these. Why won't you answer? I'm really struggling here. Then her sister Kara called. Number unblocked. My mistake. Alex, you're being cruel, she snapped. Jenna's heartbroken. Mark was a jerk, and she needs you. Be a man and at least hear her out. I stayed polite but firm. She made her choice, Kara. I'm done. Click. Blocked. By month 3, Jenna's emails turned desperate. I know I messed up. Mark was a mistake. He used me, humiliated me. You were always so good to me. Can we just meet? I'll come to you. I didn't reply. Then came the voicemails, forwarded through a mutual friend who hadn't gotten the memo to stop sharing. Her voice cracked. Alex, please. I'm sorry. I didn't mean those things I said about you being boring. I was wrong. A pause, then anger crept in. You can't just erase me like this. I deserve a response. Her final attempt was the ugliest. She showed up at Tom's birthday party. I'd been invited, reluctantly attended to catch up with old friends. I was chatting with a colleague when I saw her across the room, disheveled, eyes red. She marched over, ignoring the crowd. You think you're better than me now? She hissed, loud enough for heads to turn. Running off like a coward? I gave you everything, and you just vanish? You're pathetic. I stayed calm, sipping my drink. Jenna, this isn't the place. Her face twisted, realizing I wasn't taking the bait. You'll regret this, she spat, storming out. Friends whispered, some shooting me sympathetic looks. Her true colors were on full display, entitled, Unhinged. I felt nothing but relief to see her go. The final encounter came unexpectedly, a few months later at the same friend's engagement party. I'd landed a senior role at a tech firm, moved into a sleek condo with a view, and started casually seeing someone new, Lila, a kind, grounded woman who valued me for me. I was happy, truly happy, for the first time in years. Jenna showed up, uninvited, looking like a shadow of her old self, thin, tense, clutching a cheap wine glass. She cornered me near the dessert table, her voice low but desperate. Alex, I know I hurt you. I was stupid. Mark's gone, my career's a mess, and I see now you were the best thing I had. Can we start over? Please. I looked at her, feeling nothing. No anger, no pity, just distance. She was a stranger now, a memory I'd outgrown. Jenna, I said evenly, you made your choice. You wanted excitement, and I gave you space for it. I've moved on. My life's good, really good. You don't fit in it anymore. Her eyes widened, searching for a crack in my resolve, but there was none. You can't mean that, she stammered. We had something real. Had, I said, emphasizing the word. That's past tense. I'm not your rock anymore. Lila walked over then, smiling, and I introduced her casually. This is Lila, by the way. Jenna's face crumpled, the reality hitting her. She'd been replaced, not just in my life, but in my heart. She mumbled something incoherent and left, nearly tripping on her way out. I didn't watch her go. Later, Tom told me she'd cried in the parking lot, but it didn't faze me. I was done carrying her weight. Looking back, disappearing was the best thing I ever did. I learned my worth, built a life that's mine, and found peace. Jenna's a footnote now, a lesson in not settling for someone who sees loyalty as a weakness. If you're reading this, don't beg for someone who doesn't value you. Walk away. The silence speaks louder than any argument ever could. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.